So we talked about glory in terms of a reward, but the third social stat that L5R has that could be considered a reward is status. Status seems to go along with your role as a PC, what your job is, what you're doing for your lord or for your clan or for the empire. It should be awarded as a lump sum that shifts a PC from one role to another. So it comes with a job change. It is often, but it's not required to be accompanied by a title. And we'll talk about titles as rewards later. But a bodyguard for a low-rank courtier who gets a promotion to now act as a bodyguard for a high-ranking kuge, they're still a bodyguard. They're still your Jimbo title, but this is a really significant jump in status.
One of the biggest differences is that honor and glory are directly influenced by the character's actions, whereas status is not directly related to what you do. It's something that generally non-player characters decide. They decide, okay, I want you to be doing this job, which gives you some status. Or a marriage is arranged for your character, and that's going to give you status. So it's a different style of reward.
And it's also individual, and it won't happen to the whole group at once very often. You can have your perfectly flat Emerald Magistrate group advancing along potentially in status, but that would be very odd. It would more often be one gets promoted to Emerald Magistrate, like they recently did in Crimson Gold Agonies, our actual play podcast, and the rest are Yoriki. Status changes, especially big ones, change the party dynamics. You want to make sure that your whole party can work with the dynamics as they're set up. You want to have the right player be your high status player.
It's something the group needs to be aware of and the group needs to work with, because if one character does have that extra status and theoretically is now in charge, that is a very different dynamic to everyone's just a group who are all working together. And I think you need to be aware of that, and so do players. But it can work fine. I've played in games like that. And it can work just fine.
Oh, absolutely. It can work great. Just things to think about. Going right along with status is titles, because titles can be used to signify a new job, which the status goes along with. A lot of titles award a block of status as you get them, but they don't have to, and they can be anything. They're really useful, though. They're really nice. I love titles.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they can be used for an awful lot of things. The interesting thing is you get bonuses to start off with. Then you get the fact that they open up a bunch of things that you might not get in your standard curriculum. And then there's the actual ability that you get if you manage to spend all the XP and actually gain the full title. The thing you need to keep in mind is that by the rules, you can only have one in-progress title at a time. Technically, there isn't a method of dropping a title that you've already put XP into. So that's a thing.
They are so useful that many games that I've seen run seem to account for titles at the beginning. They let you flavor the characters a little bit more and open choices and variations up. But not every PC will want a title. Although they are cool and open up options, if people are really digging their core curriculum, they don't want to spend experience points into a title. They have a big flavor on how your character plays out, because it's got a whole curriculum, it's got experience, it's got abilities. So if you want to take your character in a certain direction and you're not getting a title at the beginning, it is a good thing to talk about with your GM, saying, someday I want to be a Emerald Magistrate. Show me the road to get there. That's what I want to do. Or I want to be a Castilian, or I want to be Witch Hunter. Show me the road to get there.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that I can someday get that title.
Which is a good Good idea for, in general, just explain, make sure the GM knows the trajectory you want your character to be on. But specifically for titles, given how much of an impact that can have, yeah.
Right. It's a good as an adventure or short campaign reward. I would think it would be awarded at the end or between sessions or on a big climactic moment in play. You could think, especially if that climactic moment can be followed sometime after with a downtime for training in your new title. But they're a big deal to get, and they're a lot of fun to get. I like them. One thing that you, especially if you have a situation where you have a campaign and you want the PCs to start with a title, and you want to give them a reward, and you want them to advance in their title, and they're not advancing in their title. And the way the titles are set up, this is pretty common because title XP doesn't go towards ranking you. So if you want to go up in your ranks, you ignore the title and put your XP in your school.
Absolutely. You already got the curricular access from the title if you want it, but if it's not giving you something that's different to your core curriculum, then you might think, why bother?
Yeah. So a lot of titles never go finish because of that, or take a really long time to finish. If you want to have your PCs potentially advance in their titles, or you want to reward your PCs for doing things associated with their titles, that's a great time to have title-specific bonus XP. So you can keep your overall party rank the same. It doesn't hurt the party rank at all to do this, but you can reward special role play, special tasks, note-taking, doing title-specific activities, I don't know, spying if you're a spy, or Yojimboing if you're a Yojimbo, by awarding title-specific XP that then allows the PCs to advance in the title without sacrificing or altering the main line of their development. And I think this is good for those really hard to reach or expensive titles that you will never actually achieve before 6 because you can't. So that's a good kind of reward related to titles that doesn't mess with party level.
Mm-hmm.